welcome to the latest edition of Cageside Speaks. My name is 14 Fitzpatrick, and hello there, folks. Do you see a storm cloud in front of you? Yes, that storm cloud is WrestleMania. So hop on board this roller coaster to mania and enjoy what they are calling the ultimate thrill ride, because Vince McMahon discovered what roller coasters are.
Yes, he did.
Yep, he did. And we brought together a group of Cagesiders to talk about WrestleMania before it happens, the angles, how we got here, and we've separated it into two different divisions, Raw and SmackDown, because this is the Brilliant Spirit after all. And we brought with us today 3 Cagesiders, 1 new and 2 returning, to talk about this show. First up, making his first official appearance for Speaks, it's Duke.
Hi, everyone. You're probably not going to hear as much of me as everybody else because they may have headphones or something. I don't. So they've been saying that apparently my speakers are going into my microphone, which means I'm not going to be interjecting as much with everybody else. But I'm totally looking forward to this show. WrestleMania looks like the first time in a while they actually have a plan going into the end of it. But as you'll see throughout the show, we don't always agree with the plan.
Oh, yep. And also joining us once again is Sal.
Hello, everyone. And yep, I agree 100% with Duke. They have a plan. It's all competent. I just don't like half of it.
Typically, Sal does the NXT reviews along with our debut, which is Our Lady Justice. She has done the Cageside Live reviews with Sean Reuter for the NXT TakeOver shows the last 2 times.
Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm super glad that I was asked to join. I think I'm going to have a completely different reaction to the other guys on this show, so if you're looking for someone to be kind of a non-negative Nancy, that's going to be me.
Yep. It's so great to have you on this show. You know, this is going to be so interesting because I brought together a couple people who usually do NXT shows but don't typically talk about the main roster, you know, except for Duke, because we did a live after SmackDown Live appearance, the guest host show a couple months back. To start off with, we will be talking about Raw, because let's get through the worst half of the show first.
Yeah.
First up is Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman for what I have called on my last show, the Fastlane show, the Beef Jerky Championship. Goldberg won in a squash over Kevin Owens, who is now currently embroiled in his own feud, which we will get to later. And because of the fact that Brock Lesnar had a rematch clause for the Goldberg, he decided to cash it in because Goldberg is now the champion. So, Dee, what is your thoughts on this match?
I really hope that it goes longer than a minute and a half. I mean, okay, so I don't have as like a negative view of this match, I think, as a lot of other people do, just simply because I kind of count myself as slightly more casual than, I mean, NXT aside, I count myself as among the more casual fans. So you can get me with some really dumb, weird things like Goldberg being like super sweaty, and like who's gonna sweat more to me is funnier but I don't know, this match I think it's gonna be fun. I think they're gonna go all out and try to make it something spectacular and not a squash, because I think they have to at this point, and I don't really want to see Goldberg die, but it might happen, and that could be awesome. That's pretty much how I feel about it.
Sal, what are your thoughts on this match?
I just don't care about it at all. I don't care about either wrestler. I really hate Brocky Boy. I don't really care about Goldberg. Like, I never watched WCW growing up, especially when he was there, because I was like 2 to like 3 or 4 or 5 at the time when WCW was really around. I just don't care. That's all there is to it. And I mean, everything they've done to build it up, it's been competent. It's been completely competent. I have no issues with I can't say it doesn't make sense. It's not as bad as like when they had Reigns and Lesnar playing tug of war with the belt. It's all been decent stuff. It's just stuff I hate or don't care for. Like, I get why they're doing it. And like Eddie did a write-up on it where it's like, this will, like, a lot of people are into it. This will make them a lot of money. I agree with that. I also think it's very short term. They're not building stars, and this has been a constant issue with Raw. They're not building new stars. I think eventually the bottom will fall out. This is something they're going to have to address going forward. But yeah, that's my feelings on it. Don't care.
Okay, Duke, I will unmute your microphone and you can get your thoughts.
Well, at first I was against this match, but the more I think about it, the more I realize, this could be probably the most interesting match on the show, just because you have two guys who clearly the crowd connect with. And we tend to forget when we're discussing these things that the most important thing is to get the crowd reaction. Goldberg gets it in spades. Brock Lesnar is still getting it against him. The one problem I have with this is making it for the Universal title, which seems to me to be kind of a waste of the title. This match doesn't need it. This is a dream match. It's going to be exciting anyway to most of the audience. Put the Universal title somewhere where it can help people. You could put it with, say, Roman Reigns against Undertaker, or you could have kept it with Kevin Owens. But other than that, what I see in this match is it's going to be interesting to see how long it goes, obviously. And it's going to be interesting to see what sort of damage Goldberg will take, because at his age, we've only really seen him get hurt that one time, and you kind of wonder how much his body can take.
Yep.
No, I actually totally agree with Duke on that because I mean, it is going to be, like I said, I don't think that they would put this all together if they didn't have something in mind to make it spectacular. Because, I mean, this is WrestleMania, and after last year's dumpster fire in the main event, like they can't do that again. At least it will be a relatively short, but hopefully not super tiny match. And but you know what? I also agree with that it shouldn't be for the belt. I think that's silly.
No, it shouldn't, because Brock is probably going to win, and it's going to be on his farm in Saskatchewan for at least 3-4 months
Minimum.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I don't think the belt needs to be there every week, but you kind of need to be there more than once a month or once every couple months.
I mean, at least once a month, for God's sake.
I honestly kind of feel like they're planning on getting Roman.
I'm thinking about this. It's just kind of funny looking at the contrast here. Over on SmackDown, Naomi had to forfeit the women's title under the premise that she couldn't defend it within 30 days. And here we are thinking Brock Lesnar might not even be on TV for 30 weeks.
Oh my God. I hadn't even thought about that.
Please don't even say that. Don't suggest that. Don't bring that evil on us.
Oh, Lord.
Could you?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's different contexts. This is Raw. That was SmackDown, and they have Daniel Bryan as the general manager there, so they're probably enacting different rules for different brands.
Well, then I guess we can say SmackDown's competently run.
Sure, and for me, I'm excited for this because potentially, we'll have this match, it'll be done and over with, and also Brock will probably disappear and most likely eat the belt, as I've said before, and
Yes.
So Finn Balor will be sad because that was his belt, but we might get a new championship design out of this, which is hopefully not as bad as. I like the Universal Championship because it's weird looking to an extent, but I also go, that's your main championship belt.
They should have just brought Big Gold back.
Yeah.
We all know that if Finn Balor is sad about it, he'll just build a replica championship out of Legos anyway. He might even defend that when he comes back.
It would honestly look better than the actual Universal title, I'll be completely honest.
Yep.
But no, what I was saying is, this is just half joking, but I honestly think, half joking aside, that they're going to get Roman cheer by going up against Brock Lesnar because he's going to have stolen the belt from us, and people are going to, this is what Vince is thinking, Brock's kept the belt away for so long, they're going to cheer Roman because he's bringing it back.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
I think it's something Vince would think, though.
That sounds crazy. Honestly, as much as everybody kind of takes the piss out of Vince, he's not a complete idiot. He's just old.
Yeah.
So surely he has some other I have to believe. I have to believe that he knows better than that. You know what I mean?
It's been 2 years since the Rumble debacle, lady, and it's still not going away. I'd like to think he knows better, but he hasn't learned a thing.
I know, but I have to believe that there's something.
For your own
There's something
sanity?
sparking off in there. There's got to be something, right?
For your own sanity, I guess you do have to believe that.
Yes, I have to try.
In the meantime, Roman actually has a different old guy he's got to take against. Dong, the Undertaker. And the only result that Tanya will be happy with is if Roman Reigns buries Undertaker into the ground and keeps him there.
Yep.
So, Dee, what's your thoughts on this match?
This is the match I'm probably the most excited for. I mean, although I think that Undertaker is definitely past his prime, and the idea that he might get hurt has been passed around, because he's going against, Roman, who's pretty, he's got a pretty vicious style. But I don't know. I think they're probably like mapping it out and rehearsing the hell out of it so that it looks really good and it'll be a decent match, and nobody will look like crap in it. I mean, crowd reaction aside, because I think we all know that it will rain down boos like, a ton of bricks plus, but the buildup, of course, to this, to me, has been kind of marred by Braun Strowman, who, I mean, I totally love Braun Strowman, but like, dude needs to let it go, but, and kind of like leave Roman alone so that he can pretend to focus on fighting the Undertaker, who, God, I just hope he doesn't die. I mean, is this another match where that's what, like, is that the theme right now, is like, God, I hope he doesn't die. I hope he doesn't die. Like, I understand that Tanya wants Roman to, like, are they going to do a stipulation for this? Like, is there going to be, like, is this going to be no DQ? Is there going to be, like, a coffin? I mean, are they going to try and actually physically bury somebody? Because that would be kind of awesome. But, I mean, are they going to do something, make it a gimmick? I don't know. I'm confused and excited all at the same time. So I don't know.
I'm excited for it because, like, the idea that the Taker and Roman are fighting for the yard is really cool to me. And so, Duke, what's your thoughts on this match?
Well, I can kind of understand when you mentioned that he was facing another old guy. A stat that might surprise all of you: the Undertaker has not just been wrestling since before Sasha Banks was born. He's been the Undertaker since before Sasha Banks was born. That's how long we're talking about as far as gimmicks. When it comes to this match, though, what I think we're seeing here is that the Undertaker finally realizes he's done. And I think this is going to be his farewell. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to hate that it's his farewell. As long as they steer into the skid and establish that Roman has no respect for The Undertaker and give the fans a reason to dislike him during that match, it'll actually improve the match. And part of me in the back of my mind wonders if Strowman is going to be added to this match the way that he can't let Roman go, which would allow The Undertaker to, I guess, take a mid-match rest that everybody accuses Roman of doing. But in the end of the day, this is going to be a big deal. This is probably The Undertaker's last match. I hope that he doesn't embarrass himself on the way out. And, just for that reason alone, it's a big deal.
Cool. Okay, Sal, what's your thoughts on this match?
I think it'll be fine. Like, in ring, I think it'll be at least decent as long as, Taker can still somewhat go. Roman is a very good wrestler in ring. He has no character whatsoever. I really feel like they should make Roman heel in this. I really do. And I know this is typical. They should make him heel. It's just, he's going to get booed out of the building. If they're not going to turn him heel, they at least need to be utterly prepared for that. And if they aren't, then seriously, Vince really has gone senile. But let me just get something out of the way first. We saw this the other day. There are people saying that, like, Taker, if he really respects the business, who he should go into business for himself and not lose to Roman. And to those people, screw you. Like Tanya and others have pointed out, Roman is a very good friend of the Anoa'i family. He has tremendous respect for the business, which means he will do the right thing and lose to Roman, the young guy. If this really is his farewell match, you always go out on your back. Just because you don't like it. Hell, I'm not even necessarily in love with this match, but I know that Taker losing is the right call. He's nearing the end of his career, if it isn't already the end of his career. He needs to lose. You go out on your back. You know what we would be if he didn't do that? Hulk Hogan, someone with no respect for the business, but only respect for himself, and it was only ever about making money for himself and saying screw everyone else. Taker is better than that.
Well, we had a Tanya bomb.
Damn right.
Not just that, just a couple of points to follow up on there. When you mentioned, if people say that if Taker had respect for the business, he would alter the ending of this match. First off, altering the ending of the match without telling your opponent is the opposite of respect for the business.
Exactly.
And secondly, if this breaks down into a legitimate fight, are you really betting on the Undertaker against a former college football defensive lineman who's half his age? Come on, people.
Seriously, exactly. Taker is someone who has respect for the business. He might not like a decision, and if he doesn't, then you know what he would do? He wouldn't even show up. He wouldn't go into business for himself. But again, he has enough respect for the business to actually go and do the right thing. Because Taker is a man of honor and respect. And people saying he's respecting the business by doing that. You don't know Taker. You don't know Taker, and you are disrespecting the man saying that. Stop it.
It reminds me of the board game You Don't Know Jack.
Exactly. They don't.
Yes. My thought, continue, Duke.
And not only is it you don't know Jack, but if you're asking for the Undertaker to do something, you might as well just throw that screw right in your face right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You might as well just be disappointed right now. Like, it's fine if you don't like the match. I get it. There are matches I don't like that Goldberg Brock match. I don't care for that match at all. It's fine if you aren't going to like it. Just don't say you should do it to make it so you'd like it. Good Lord.
I just want to add on to that if for some reason Undertaker did not like how this match was being booked or whatever, I don't know. I feel like he's been in the business long enough. He's a professional. At the end of the day, he is a professional. And if he was like, you know what, this isn't working, I think he would actually go and say, look, Vince, this shit's not working for me.
Didn't he do that last year with Shane too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he really has an issue with the match, he'll go to Vince and say something. If he really wanted to, which again, I don't think he will because, like we said, he's friends with the Anoa'i. He has respect for the business. He has respect for Roman. He was best friends with Yokozuna and Rikishi or something, according to Tanya and Tierney and them and Rev. I mean,
yeah, wasn't Rikishi in his Bone Street Crew or whatever that gang he was?
Yeah. So I mean, he's going to do the right thing, and people expecting him not to. Just stop. We know he's going to. Just stop.
I'd give that Tanya bomb a literal 10 out of 10 because that was just perfect.
Thank you. I mean, I remember seeing that, and I'm just and I started going off with Tanya and Trop and all them, and I'm like, fucking hell, Reddit has got me defending Roman Reigns. Can work miracles.
Yes, miracles do happen. And I'm excited for this match because Roman is a really safe worker. He's one of the safest workers in the company. If they wanted to hurt Taker, they'd pair him with Seth Rollins.
Or they just throw him to Brock again.
Yes.
Seriously. Oh God, don't give him to Seth Rollins. Please don't.
Oh, well. That's actually the next match on our card because it's unannounced yet, but because of the fact that they're not sure if Seth is ready to go for WrestleMania, but he will most likely face the Creator and the Destroyer, Triple H.
Oh, yeah, Triple H. I prefer to call him Shiva because that's who he is.
Yeah. So, if this match just happens, Sal, what are your thoughts on it?
I will never cheer Seth Rollins, at least as he's being portrayed. I mean, good Lord, how bad have they botched his character? Him threatening Triple H's and Stephanie's kids is freaking terrible. You were supposed to be babyface. I mean, as much shit as Austin did, he never threatened Vince's kids until Shane attacked him. Hell, he defended Stephanie from Taker.
Yes, when he was attempting to sacrifice Stephanie to his demon gods.
Yes. Yes.
As a reminder, everyone, Vince Russo wrote that, okay?
Oh, fucking Christ. And that was back in the 90s when things were backwards and primitive. And they had that more right than they have it now. That is freaking amazing. Also, Seth insinuating that his boss wants to have sex with him. I'm just going to throw it out here. I have 2 female bosses at my work. If I ever did that to any one of them, I would be fired in 5 minutes. And with good reason, because that is nothing but disrespectful and tasteless. And I don't put this on Colby Lopez, the performer. I put this on the creative team behind it. Vince, you are freaking up.
I would also put some of the blame to one of the Raw writers who seems to keep going with these sexual innuendo segments. Dewey, do I need to drop a safe over your head?
No, we need to cane him.
Yes. Did someone predict the future back in 1994 when they wrote that sign, Cane Dewey?
Seriously, I'm honestly mad at Foley for calling those people sick. No, they were right, Mick.
Yes, he was responsible for the Enzo stuff, which we will get to much later. But anyway, D, what are your thoughts on the Triple H Seth match angle?
I don't care. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. I hate Seth Rollins. I have not forgiven him for what he did on June 2nd, 2014. And he, like his little thing in the ring that a few weeks ago, where he's just like, oh, I went things the wrong way and stuff. Well, you know what? Have you apologized? Have you apologized to Dean and Roman to their faces? Have you done it? You've not done it. It's all bullshit. Forget it. I just don't want to. No, you know what? They can all just burn. That's fine. That's how I feel about this match. They can all burn. I don't care about Triple H. I don't care about Seth Rollins. They can all go away. Sorry, this is my one negative match.
I mean, the best thing we've gotten out of this is Destroyer Samoa Joe, which is honestly legitimately good.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's still shit, and I have no interest in seeing it. But, thank you for giving us Destroyer Samoa Joe, who, by the way, looks freaking amazing in a suit.
Oh my goodness. Duke, what are your thoughts on this match?
Well, I guess just judging from everyone's reaction, we're waiting for the first quad to get blown out in this match. But
how many are we thinking are going to get blown out?
There you go. I think the big problem with this match is that there's nobody to like. We've already discussed everything with Seth Rollins, but are we forgetting the person he's going against is the person who, with a single statement, basically erased everything Daniel Bryan did, and that's just as the authority. You go back to his career. Remember, technically speaking, he may have raped Stephanie McMahon into marriage, technically within storyline. So what we're talking about here are 2 people that, one that the new fans wish would fall off the face of the earth, and one that people like me who've been around since 19 really want to fall off the face of the earth. So, yeah, I think in this match I'm going to be ordering pizza. How about you guys? What toppings y'all want?
Barbecue chicken, no onion.
I'm just going to have a regular Supreme without the hot peppers and anchovies.
I just like sausage and mushroom.
Well, there we go. We'll just need to get one big pizza, split up into quarters, and there we go.
I know my local pizza place does really good stuff. Lena's Pizza in Jamestown, New York is one of the best pizza places in town. And
are they paying you for this ad?
No, actually they aren't, because I've been a regular customer of theirs for years, and that they've got really good pizzas.
And you should get free pizza out of it.
It's making me think of things better than Seth Rollins. A Seth Rollins match against Triple H.
If we're going
wait, let's be fair here. A colonoscopy is better than a Seth Rollins match against Triple H.
Oh, yes. Fucking hell. Half the bad shit TNA did is a slightly better or only slightly worse than Triple H Seth Rollins. That's really saying something.
Don't insult. Don't insult them that badly. I mean, at least, No, I mean TNA tries. They try, I guess.
Yeah,
they're
the Donner Party of professional wrestling.
Yes, they are. Yes,
Triple H and Seth Rollins.
TNA tries. They try by putting their title on a coke head.
That's true.
Oh, Sue, I think it
I can't
was
wait till
soon.
Jeff Hardy and Matt come back to the WWE and Jeff's in the main event just to see Sal's head explode from that statement.
Oh, that'll be so awesome.
So, speaking of Triple H lackeys, our next matchup is for the United States Championship, and this Mania pre-show speaks all came together because Canaanite said you could fill an entire 90 minutes or so just talking about the segment that caused this match, the Festival of Friendship. Which turned into the exact opposite of what friendship actually is. So, D, your thoughts on this match and Angle?
I'm pro Kevin Owens. I mean, no offense to Chris Jericho or anything. I do love him and I've loved him for a long time, but I'm pro Kevin Owens. He's not wrong. You know, when he gets up there and he talks about, you know, anything, he's like, I think that's one of his appeals just in general is that Kevin Owens just speaks kind of the truth. Like he's not wrong. And I'm hoping that he beats the crap out of Jericho and sends him crying off into the sunset in his sparkly panties.
Sparkly panties Jericho rides off into the sunset to go tour with Fuzzy.
Exactly.
Okay, Sal, what's your thoughts on this Angle match?
I think it's been booked pretty good. The only issue I have is it's not even with the Festival of Friendship itself, it's with when it took place. Like, let me put it like this. Why would Kevin Owens get rid of someone who had his back? Yes, he got him into that stupid match he shouldn't have, but Kevin Owens' thing is that he's a student of Triple H, right?
Yep.
Triple H was always known for being able to use people to their most effectiveness. Why wouldn't Kevin Owens bring someone who would ostensibly have his back in that match and to help him with Goldberg, who, if he goes really quick, will end you? Like, Goldberg only needs one move, so why wouldn't he try and keep Chris around to try and distract Goldberg? The way I would have booked it would have been he brings Chris with him. Chris inadvertently, Chris gets thrown out of the match by the ref. That distracts Kevin. Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. You get the distraction finished, so Kevin doesn't look too bad. You know, it came off a distraction. Goldberg still wins the belt, so you can do Brock Goldberg for the belt for whatever reason they want to do it for. And you still break it up without Kevin seeming stupid for getting rid of Y2J too early.
I think that they had built this up previously before in several matches where Jericho had messed up, though, so they didn't want to just keep doing what they've done before in the past with breakups. They've done that angle before. They wanted to do something different, and it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up doing a Raw in Las Vegas, Nevada, and have Jericho and Owens do this segment.
Yeah, I will say the list of KO was freaking amazing and heartbreaking at the same time.
Why is my name on the list?
You let go, Kevin. You told me you'd never let go.
Okay, Duke. What's your thoughts?
I'm over here just trying not to laugh thinking about that. The best part about this is that we've actually been able to get invested in the friendships, that we get invested in the follow-up match. That's something that's very much old school that I appreciate. The big issue with this is that it came at the expense of turning the Universal title basically into a sidekick act. So what needs to happen here is that Owens basically needs the win more than Jericho to reestablish himself. And at the end of the day, you know, we're talking about someone in Kevin Owens who really is the most pragmatic member of the roster. So you have to wonder, you know, what shortcuts is he going to take? What sort of wraparounds will he take? That's going to be sort of the appeal of the match to me, is seeing if Kevin Owens how he's going to outthink Chris Jericho, who's been around so long, he thinks he's seen it all.
I don't think that Chris Jericho has ever seen Samoa Joe before. And if Joe interferes in this match to help out his new friend, Kevin Owens, because now they're a part of the same group, it's going to be really interesting.
Yep.
And
just to wrap back here, this just came to my mind. Rollins isn't the only one who we think will happen at WrestleMania. We've heard that Finn Balor is back on the live event circuit. What if they changed that Hunter Rollins match to Hunter and Joe versus Rollins and Balor would be more appealing to you?
Yes, it would, because I would see Rollins half as less.
No, not me. Nope. I'm going to tell. Okay, here's why not. Because basically, I don't care about Finn Balor.
Oh my
Sorry.
God! Oh
I don't
my
care about
God!
Finn
This
Balor.
is so wonderful. I thought I was the only person.
He's a very talented young man. He's very nice to look at. I would prefer if he never opened his mouth, because every time he talks, I'm like, drip, drip.
I am a fan of Finn, and yeah, talking is very much not his strong point.
Also, dressing up like serial killers and Texas Chainsaw Massacre people
See,
as a
I
baby
kinda
face.
like that. I kind of like that. I mean, that was his gimmick for the while. I mean, they dressed up as Hannibal Lecter in ICW. That was freaking awesome.
Sure, but that was for an adult promotion.
You know what though? Hannibal Lecter is one thing. Jack the Ripper is a totally, like, I don't know. I feel like eating people that are bad is kind of not as bad as just like, raping and murdering hookers. I just feel like that's worse.
It also helps if you're dressing up as someone who was played by Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on now, that guy is freaking amazing.
Yeah. But that wouldn't improve the match, because then two people I don't like. Well, I hate Rollins, but I dislike Balor because, like, I had to endure his Samoa Joe matches in NXT where he tried to play the demon character, and like he does the whole primal scream thing. I'm like, Finn, why are you screaming like a grandma who just slammed her arm in the car door?
Because he just slammed his arm in the car door.
I will say that one thing I liked about the SummerSlam match with Seth Rollins is, in order to get across the difference, they didn't have him scream or anything. They just had him sort of adopt the rising up from nowhere, like the Undertaker would do. That sort of got the point across a lot better, in my opinion.
Yep.
Look at that. Raw Creative did something better than NXT Creative. And that was... Wait, when did Ward
Bite your
leave?
tongue.
Oh, come on. NXT Creative, as much as I still like NXT more than Raw, it's been so bad since Ward left.
Well, they're in a rebuilding phase. I mean, you can't expect magic forever.
Sucks. The new writer sucks compared to Ward, and maybe it's just because Ward is so on God high good at this, but...
Well, it didn't help that they had Finn Balor and Joe forever. That is, I think I got burnt out on it, like when that was just a thing, and then it was a lot of Shinsuke and Joe. It was just a lot of Joe. And you know what? I'm not tired of him, but I just need him to talk more, because he is magical while he's speaking. Yes.
And he's on the talking show now, and that's the biggest benefit that he has.
Yeah. The thing with Joe is like, I'm sure Vid and anyone else who has seen more of his stuff, like I saw some of his TNA stuff, which is pretty much saying I saw him being able to be good half the time and buried in uselessness the other half. But, when he was younger and he could go more, the dude could go. He was so good, like, in ring, and he's a great talker. It's sort of like, I wish it was you still had your 2006 body, Joe. I really
That's 11 years ago, bro.
I know.
People get old.
No, I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not blaming the poor guy, because, we all get older, and, he's been wrestling for, 15 or so years now?
Since 1999, I think.
Oh, geez, 18. Yeah, there we go.
18 years.
Yeah, almost 20 years. I mean, I'm not expecting him to be able to go quite as well as he used to, because, again, you get older, you get injuries, stuff happens. I get that. It's just, if only you could still go like you used to. If only.
But yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting match. Like the Festival of Friendship, was like, oh my God, Owens ending Jericho, the Murder Bear is back.
Yes, that was something that did need to happen. It's almost like although I do find it funny, it's that right when Kevin Owens would have been the credible world champion again, he lost the belt. Or, he didn't have it anymore, or was about to lose. It's just like, Are
To
you
be fair,
serious?
has the Universal Championship ever been a credible belt?
Well, no,
No.
but that's because Finn had it, then lost it a day later due to Seth injury. Seth, the injurer Rollins. Good Lord. Then Kevin had it and became a mid-card act. So,
That's
yeah.
true.
So to be fair, though, the thing is that they had to be very careful with Balor because the reason they had him in NXT for so long was because he had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the first person they put him with is with another guy who's had his own injuries and has had issues protecting opponents.
Yeah.
On occasion.
No, that's not true. He fought against those other guys first, and then he had his match with Roman first.
Yeah.
And
Roman
he was
didn't.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah. Seth has Seth retired? Okay, if Seth hasn't retired the buckle bomb, he needs to retire it. Never do that again.
Mhm.
You injured Finn with it. You retired Sting with it. And look, I know it's pro wrestling. I know shit happens.
Mhm.
Sometimes a bad bump happens. It happens. I get it. It's just I feel like that spot is too risky to keep doing.
Or at least not do it to a 56-year-old man.
Yeah. And I mean, he did it to Balor on the barricade, and it's just like, you really can't take that bump very good on a barricade.
Mm-mm.
No.
He's lucky he didn't break his back, and he only
Yeah.
dislocated his shoulder or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, the reason he dislocated his shoulder is that he had to grab his shoulder when he did that, had to do that spot, because either it was going to hit his shoulder or it was going to hit the back of his neck.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It's-
he's lucky he didn't break his
Yeah.
back, and he could have been
Yeah.
paralyzed for all we know. And
And
so,
look, I'm sure Colby Lopez is a nice guy in real life. I'm sure
Mm.
Colby Lopez is a decent human at the very least, just like all of them is. Just like I'm sure Joe Anawahi is a very good man in real life. He seems like quite a loving father, etc. Seth, Colby, please don't do that spot anymore. Please don't do it to a guy on a barricade where his only choice is to take it to the shoulder or to take it to the back of the neck. And please don't do it to a 56-year-old man.
ever again.
Feel free to do it to Triple H, though. It might convince him never to wrestle again.
Oh, come on.
You know what? I'd be down with that. I mean, you know what? I've never been a fan of Triple H's wrestling style, just simply because it's kind of plotting for me.
Well,
Yeah.
what he's doing is
But-
basically a bootleg 1980s NWA championship style match every match.
Yeah. He wants to be Ric Flair so bad.
But he isn't.
I
He's
know.
like Tully Blanchard.
I know he isn't. And to be fair, not anyone can be Ric Flair. I mean, Jay Lethal can be Ric Flair.
Who wants to be Ric Flair anyway? Like, I never
Oh.
have gotten that. I'm like,
Oh, did you see John Cena's Instagram with a picture of Jay Lethal? If they bring him in to be the Ric Flair impersonator on Southpaw Wrestling, if they make more episodes,
that might be good.
that would be amazing. That was like one of the few
Why
things
not?
TNA ever did right.
So, looks like most of us are looking forward to Owens murdering Jericho and having him, ride off in the sunset
Yes,
in
that
a
match
travel
should be pretty
bag
good.
to Fonzie, his rock band.
Woohoo.
Just to summarize these first four matches we've gone over, we have Goldberg, who was big in 1998 against Brock Lesnar. We have Roman Reigns being put against The Undertaker, who was part of the Monday Night Wars. Kevin Owens' career was, and title reign was cut back because he was the sidekick to Chris Jericho. Seth Rollins was put in a holding pattern because Triple H didn't show up. Memo to Vince, it's 2017!
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, Lord. Well, maybe we'll get some young blood on the undercard.
Well, actually, our next match does have young blood in it.
Hooray!
It's the first
Oh,
of
yeah.
our two women's matches that are confirmed.
Oh.
We have the diabolical hug shogunate Bailey versus Charlotte Woo Flair and Sasha. My action figures just got squashed by Nia Jax's leg drop Banks.
Yay! 3 people I don't care about at all.
Oh, Sal.
I hate all of them.
Wait, do you hate them, or do you just hate what's been done with them?
I hate what's been done with them.
Okay.
I hate their characters.
I was about to say, somewhere Andrew Swift is screaming in agony and he doesn't know why.
Yes, he was just drinking in Berlin and now he's like, fuck. Oh, Lord help me with this match. Fizzy, if you don't mind, can I just jump the gun on this? I need to get some hate out.
Sure, go ahead. This is what Speaks is for, therapy for wrestling fans.
Thank you. So let's start with Bayley, Hugmaster. I loved you when I saw you at NXT Detroit. I air hugged you. You pointed at me. That was freaking awesome. You were a great person. Stop ruining her character, Vince. For the love of God, that Fastlane bullcrap you pulled. Having her being cool with Sasha because we had no idea what Dana and Charlotte would do. Fucking hell, that isn't what Bayley is about. Bayley is about fair and honest competition who rises to the occasion and beats her because she knows she could do things the easy way, but she doesn't choose to because she's better than that. Stop having her have that. Stop trying to get people to hate Sasha too when they want to like her. Seriously. You're turning Sasha heel. It really does seem like that. And if you are, don't make her second heel to Charlotte. Charlotte, God bless her. She seems like a very nice person. She really does. Ashley Flair, however you pronounce her actual last name, she does seem like a very good person. She is, I don't care for her. And I don't want to be mean because, again, these are all nice people in real life. I'm sure of it. It's just so bad how bad they've butchered these characters. They're making it really seems like they're trying to make Dana Brooke top face. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Do you need a moment, Sal?
I need many moments. And the reason I hate it the most is because they were all really good in NXT. They all had a lot of potential and promise. Even if I thought Charlotte was the weakest of the four horsemen, she was still pretty damn good. And now all of them...
Well, wait a minute, Sal. They have shown their promise in the ring. They've shown their promise when they've had a chance to talk. This is not on them.
No,
We're still getting the same people we always had.
Yes, that's one of the worst things about it. It's like, if you aren't one of the four horsemen on Raw, you don't matter. And that's something I don't like because... It really does feel like you need to vary it up a bit. We've had this, like, these same three people for, like, what, like 9 months?
Oh, actually, more than that.
Yeah,
year.
Same 4 people for, like, same 4 or 5 people for counting Becky. We've had it for, like, a year on Raw. It got stale. It needs a change. Creative needs to back up, look at what made their characters work in NXT, and fix this shit. And they just need to change it. It's painful.
I mean, if it's variety you're after, the only person left really is Alicia Fox. And by the way, I wouldn't be against that just because I want to see what happens when Noam Dar tries to hit on Sasha Banks.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Hell, it wouldn't even be too much. Just add Nia to the match. Just at least give me, like, like the pretense that you care and that you're trying to vary things up. Please.
Yeah. Wow. 2 Tanya bombs in one show, folks.
Yep. I'm channeling Tanya and pissing off Fizzy. By the way, everyone, don't forget to watch Live After SmackDown Live on Wednesday night.
Actually, it's now called Wednesday Night Shooting.
Wednesday Night Shooting. Don't forget to watch it on Wednesdays. Beautiful people, those two. They do a great job. There's your plug, Tanya and Swift. Thumbs up.
No, I'm perfectly good with it. It's Swift you're probably making enraged right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm probably making Tanya laugh her ass off and making Swift cry his eyes out.
Okay, Dee, what are your thoughts on this match?
Gosh. What can I say that Sal hasn't already said or destroyed utterly, these poor girls. But I don't know. I feel like adding Nia into this match, even though the variety would be nice, I think it would possibly bring the quality of the match down. Plus, we also already are going to have, like, basically all of the SmackDown women in a match later or earlier. I guess probably earlier, actually, I would say, in the show. And I have. The quality of the match will be better for the Raw women. I mean, like, let's just get that out of the way. Like, for all that, they have better usage of the characters on SmackDown. The Raw's women's matches are a million times better, in my personal opinion.
Oh, yeah,
I
they
just
were
feel like,
better in ring.
yeah. So I mean, and as someone who really likes the in-ring stuff, I'm just glad for that, and that's the only reason that I wouldn't want to add Nia Jax. Not that she's not good, it's just that she's not them. If that makes any sense.
No, that's totally fair, and I can understand that.
But I agree with you that the characters have been ruined, and they've been, or not necessarily ruined, but they've been, strung around and kind of torn apart. And I don't like what they've done with Bayley. I mean, I was kind of concerned about her character being on either of the show on the main roster period, because I was like, I don't think this is going to work the way that she is versus the way that they want them to be. They seem to want them to be. Everyone's kind of like, all women hate each other and are super catty and like whatever. And that's obviously not
We're
true.
forgetting Vince lives by the motto of bitches be crazy.
Yes, he does, for the love of God. I will say this, though. The fact that Bayley is still over to any degree at all is credit to Bayley herself. Like, the fact that any of those women are over at all on Raw is credit to them.
Yeah, I mean, that they have done a really good job of staying over. And Duke, what are your thoughts on this match?
Unmute him.
Oh.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. I guess the big thing about this is that having seen the last few months, I am just burned out on Charlotte right now. If you got the chance, for some reason I got a really stupid idea to do my own alternate commentary on SummerSlam, and even then I was saying that the whole thing of Charlotte never losing on Sunday was sort of putting the whole thing, making the whole thing predictable. And they kept that going for another 5 months afterwards. And then when they do break it, it's through some incredible shenanigans that sort of ruin the whole point of having it go on for this long. And, when I said earlier about how Vince doesn't know what year it is, have you noticed how the entire women's division revolves around the daughter of Ric Flair? I don't think that Charlotte may be a great competitor, but I don't think that's coincidence right now. So what we're looking at here is everything just seems to be bending towards, you know what? I don't even know anymore. I don't know. I can't get a read on this match because it seems like the fact that they are not carbon copies of their NXT personae is making everybody mad. Well, let me address this to you, Sal. Bayley is not the Bayley of NXT. The Bayley of NXT was a fan who jumped into the ring, started losing a lot, came through the system, beat everyone all the way, had that feel-good moment. The Bayley of Raw was introduced by Mick Foley as the hottest free agent from NXT. She is different. She has evolved. We can't tell that story again just because of how they are, but at the same time, what are we saying? What story are we telling? I just don't know. And for somebody who really wants women to be important, I'm one of the few people who thinks that segregating the women makes them look inferior. I would like to see one of the women cross over and take on one of the guys, but the way things are going right now, there's just nobody with momentum. And it seems like this is intentional. I just don't get it. Are the people who write Raw just tone deaf about women? Because you look on SmackDown, Brian James and Ryan Ward have it figured out, treat the women like they're men, just as a different division. What is going on over here?
Raw is written by Dewey Foley. SmackDown is written by Ryan Ward.
Okay, so this women's match has caused two people on the show to have literal Sonya Bomb moments.
Yes.
And I'm enjoying this greatly. My thoughts on the match are, I'm actually optimistic of this match because, here's the weird thing that has happened. I have started to like Charlotte Flair more, and I absolutely hate...
Oh, jeez. No, okay, quick. Somebody get the paramedics to him. We've got a problem.
Yes, we do. I think this is indicative. I honestly feel like this was intentional now, Fizzy. They wanted to get you to like Charlotte Flair, so they did it by sabotaging Sasha and Bayley.
I like her. Because, she's she reminds me of, she's this giant-looking stork lady who's kind of clumsy, even though she's a gymnast. She's very likable. She's likable on social media. You know, she's like this big, goofy kid.
Yes, she really is a good person.
But by the way,
not really
Giant Looking Stork Lady would be a great name for a rock album. Everyone agree?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Great name for a heavy metal album.
I mean, she looks like an actual wrestler. You know, that's the cool thing about her is like, and also she has like, all she needs is some green facial mascara and those little things that you put in your hair, and she'd be perfect with one of those old like golden robes that she has.
Oh my God, yes.
She'd be the scariest person on the roster. She'd be Bull Nakano, but American.
Yes. She would also look exactly like her New Japan Propaganda Tiger Mask W character looks like.
Yep.
She looks like her father. Like
Yes.
she looks like her
female.
father. I actually love that they have the kind of like visual thing that they've done with her, which is to make her look, I don't know, I don't want to say prettier, but you know, more ladylike, because there were some times where she was definitely not looking so ladylike, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that having different body types is awesome, but you have to admit, you know, she definitely needs to, if she's got to compare with these tiny itty bitty like Sasha's. I mean, Sasha weighs like 110 pounds or something like that.
Sasha needs to eat a sandwich.
She's trying, I hear. Anyways, but I don't fault you for not hating Charlotte and enjoying her, but I just don't want her to open her mouth. She's another one of those people that I'm just kind of like, please stop talking ever.
Wait, are you saying you're not a fan of people who emphasize the wrong parts of their speech?
Yes, we are not fans of that, Duke. I'm sorry. Her cadence is all wrong and weird and off, and it's creepy. She sounds like a robot.
I don't think she sounds like a robot. I think she just sounds like she I don't know. I don't like it.
She sounds like a rooster that is constantly going cock-a-doodle-doo, but at the wrong frequency and going all the time.
No. She sounds like a
so like Terry Taylor is what you're saying?
Huh? Yeah. Cameron?
No.
Yeah.
No, she sounds like a bad actor who, you know, like when they act badly, it's like, no, don't go in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's what she sounds like. And again, God bless her. God bless her, because she does seem like a very generally nice, sweet woman on Twitter and all that. So
Yeah, they all do. They all do.
They all do. God bless them all. But the Raw Creative Division needs to get a shake-up. Dewey Foley needs to be fired out of a cannon, and Vince needs to retire to Florida.
But anyway, like,
we have to follow the Bret Hart principle and stick them all in Pittsburgh, because as Bret Hart famously said, if you want to do an enema, that's where you put the hose.
Oh, fucking hell.
So, like, I like I said, I like Charlotte. I like her in-ring work. I like what she's doing right now. You know, even though her promos are like Shakespearean levels bad, but to a certain extent, that's kind of typical. I'm like, okay, this is a typical wrestling promo. Okay, I have no problem with that. And like, I've been on the train that they should have made Bayley evil ages ago.
Hug Lord Bayley.
I want, you know, because like when I saw her run in NXT, I'm like, oh my God, she is a shogun. She is a shogun controlling the NXT world, and all she did was she got beaten by another Demio. In this case, the Empress of Destruction, Asuka.
Dark Shogun Ieyasu. That's Bayley.
Yes, of the Hug Shogunate.
Yes.
So, like, when she took over the Raw Women's Division Championship, I'm like, she's really angry. She's much more angry and vicious in this persona than she was in NXT. And now she's getting help from one of her retainers, which is Sasha Banks, who's also trying to lead her down the path of evil. So they've got something of a story here. I'm interested to see where it goes. And like every time that Nia Jax psychologically shakes up Sasha, it seems to make her turn more and more evil. Although this could backfire on Nia very easily. This whole plan of hers, because Sasha Banks as the boss, vicious. vicious character.
Like, as much as I hate what they're doing with the characters, if you're going to make them heels, make them heels. Like, they're pretty much laid cool but faces, which doesn't work.
Well, they're laid cool, but they're also competent workers as well.
Well, yeah, they're competent laid cool workers but faces. They need to be heels. If this is what you're doing with them, make them heels. Don't try and keep them as like the same, more or less the same NXT characters but faces. It won't work, Vince, you idiot. You stupid idiot!
While Sal goes Chris Jericho, you got any more thoughts on this, D?
Oh, what, on the ladies match?
Yeah.
I hope Bayley retains. That's my only thought. That's it.
Yep, and we seem to have lost Duke, unfortunately, but we'll continue on with the tag match. What are your thoughts on this match, D?
What a waste of time. I mean, oh my god, I thought I was going to be positive, and maybe I'm not. No, but you know what? They didn't have a choice but to do this, did they? Like they literally have like 4 tag teams, or I guess 5. I guess technically 6, but Golden Truth has just disappeared. I mean, I don't think we've seen them in like months, practically. And like, are the Shining Stars, like, are they really there? Is that a thing? I'm not sure. But, you know, so then you're left with the New Day, who is hosting the thing. And you've got the other 3 tag teams, who are, one of which is like, you know, 2 singles guys put together. And one is a small Chihuahua and a Great Dane. And the other one is Festus and Carl Anderson. And I mean, so what else were you going to do? You had to do the match like this. You had to make it a triple threat, because otherwise there's no point. It's at least they get screen time, though. You know, unlike the SmackDown tag teams, at least they get the screen time to pretend to put something together. I think a lot of people think that this is going to be the coronation-ish of Enzo and Cass, but I think they should never give them the belts. Like, not ever. Not ever, and it should continue to fail, and it should cause their breakup, and then that would be glorious.
Yep.
That's how I feel about this.
Coolness. Sal, what's your thoughts on this match?
I need Enzo and Cass to lose this match. This needs to go to Sheamus and Cesaro and have them like start getting along finally, because they told half the story right. Like, they were the tag champs, they hated each other, slowly coming together, then they lost the belts. They needed to keep having the belts until they got along and then lost them, and then they would have had an awesome one-on-one singles feud that would have blown off. Hopefully with Cesaro winning and going on to a mid-card feud with Kevin Owens for the U.S. title, which would be awesome.
My God, man, we already had a singles feud between these guys for 7 matches that were a disaster.
I thought they were pretty good overall.
Yeah, but you knew how it was going to go.
Well, yes. Well, I mean, the matches themselves were good. It's just, again, the creative in Raw could be written better by a dead albatross.
Okay, that's fair. I will give you that. I will give you that.
Yeah. But, you know, and here's the thing. I like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I don't hate them. I think they're actually pretty good. It's just, you know, nothing that Raw creative does is good. I feel like this all comes back to the whole thing. It's like, the performers themselves aren't bad. There was a lot of talent on the Raw roster. It's just creative is screwing all of them up so bad. It's so bad. And I mean, Enzo is a total creep. Big Cass I have the utmost sympathy for. And here's the thing why I feel sympathy for Big Cass. He's a good guy. He's trying to stand by his friends. He's very loyal, and it's like, there are a lot of people who aren't loyal to their friends. You know? And Cass is loyal almost to a fault to Enzo, who's just a total creep. And I feel for the guy. And then there's Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, who I guess they've gotten better recently. I don't really know. Sheamus and Cesaro I really like, but that's because I really like Cesaro. I'm totally on board with D here on patron saint Cesaro. But, you know, the match, I think it will be fine. You know, it'll be what it is. You know.
My thoughts are that I really am gonna enjoy this matchup because, I enjoy Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson as the tag team. This is basically a traditional mix of New Japan style heavyweight tag match where you have 3 teams competing for the belt, and you have the champions, you have the challengers, and then you have Cass, who's stuck with Enzo.
Poor Cass. God bless the guy.
And like for me, I enjoy Sheamus more so than I do Cesaro because Cesaro is a perfectly fine, serviceable Swiss clock. He works all the time. But for me, it's like, okay, what else do you have? You're not the best on promos. You're a solid mid-card guy. I know people are like saying, they should put Cesaro in the main event. I'm like, the guy can't really do live promos very well.
No,
But we didn't
I
say
love
that
him.
we didn't say he was the patron entertainer of and patron saint of entertainment. We said he was the patron saint of wrestling, and
Yes.
therefore it's all about the actual skills. When we say that, it's not that we think that he's perfect. At least not in my personal opinion.
no.
I love him, but I also love Sheamus. So
Yeah. No, Cesaro is a very good wrestler. He's not very good on the mic, and the thing is, he can be. It's just he's not very good, like in front of the crowd. He's not the best promo, and
he basically reacts to the crowd like he would if he was reacting to a European crowd, but this isn't a European crowd.
Yeah, and again, this is a lot of issues that guys from Mexico go through too. Like we were talking about this the other day. Working crowds is different in America than in Europe or in Mexico and stuff. So
yeah,
it isn't all on him. I just feel like he might not have gotten the best training to deal with that. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, if the NXT like proper existed back when he came in, I think he would have been way better now.
Mm-hmm. And even then, it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, and then it isn't. But,
Okay, so we've gotten the tag match taken care of. Now we move on to somebody who actually does have a really great character. Bring me my crown! We have Neville versus Ugh, the man with the little man complex, Austin Aries.
Yep.
I've made my feelings on Austin Aries very, very clear. I do not like the man. And I don't know why he's getting this shot now. I would have preferred it to be a scramble match with Neville, Swan, Gallagher, and Aries. You just have to stick him in there somewhere. But okay, as a singles match for the Cruiserweight division, I'm okay with this. Dee, what are your thoughts on this match?
Well, I love Austin Aries. The opposite of you. I think I call him my tiny little Satan because he runs around sometimes with this little itty bitty cape and he looks ridiculous. And it reminds me of Jackass. And so I always think I call him my tiny little Satan. But I think he's really fun. I think that it's odd to have him in kind of a quasi, I guess he's in the face position for this match, which is weird for me because I generally think of him as definitely a heel. I mean, he's kind of a dickhead, and that's his appeal. I think that he will do a good job against. I think he and Neville will put together something really good, because Neville he's truly turned a corner with this character, and I'm so happy for him because he was literally like nothing, like so 2% milk, and now he's like he's got this fire and he looks badass, and that's great. And so I don't know, I think that it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be a really good match, and I think that Austin Aries brings some, like he's got a star quality that some of the other guys may not necessarily have, and he's got a lot to him. I think it's going to be good, and I kind of hope that Austin Aries wins, if only to see the.
I just want to apologize for ducking out here. My computer blue screened, so I'm going to assume I missed the tag match, which means I didn't miss anything.
No, you didn't miss anything.
You did miss the tag match, but you're right. You didn't miss anything.
No, not really. Oh, but anyway, so what I was saying there was that, I think that that Neville's like explosion after losing the belt will be just amazing, and I want to see that so bad.
He's
So
going
that's
to
how I feel.
maul Austin Aries so badly.
See, but what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? It could still be amazing. You don't know. You don't know. It could be a great match.
I think it will be a great match. It's just I do not like the Austin Aries character at all, and hope he gets mauled by Neville.
I'm kind of more in between you two, to be completely honest here.
Sure, go ahead.
Are you gonna go on with that?
I don't know. Maybe I was just gonna leave you hanging. No, I'll go on with that. I think I'm not quite sure I love the Austin Aries dick face thing, but that's mainly because I don't really like dick faces. Like total asshole faces. That just isn't my thing. Fizzy will know that. We often talk about characters and stuff. Although I do find it weird that I love Miz, but I think that's more because he's just the great heel, but that's besides the point and later. But it'll be a great match. Adrian Neville, or just Neville, or as I like to call him, capital Evil, in the middle of that. He is so good. King of the Cruiserweights Neville is the greatest thing the Cruiserweight division has done, with the exception of Akira Tozawa, but Dragon Gate did him, so.
Cool.
It's going to be a good match, that I will say. It will be a really good match. I'm so looking forward to that. I agree with Fizzy that I think I would have liked it to be like the big cluster. Like last year we had the IC cluster. I think this would have been better as a cluster. Like not necessarily a ladder match, but just like a scramble. So, but I think it'll be a fun match. So that I am looking forward to. It's like one of the few Raw matches I'm actually really looking forward to.
Well, the reason I say that I want a scramble match in this case is that Reverend Kane so wants a scramble match to happen for the Cruiserweights.
Well, it would be a good match, too. I mean, you just have, like, them do a bunch of flippy shit for, like, 15, 20 minutes. It would be a good kickoff match for the show. Get them all hyped up. Just have them go out there, do flippy shit for 15, 20 minutes, hype up the crowd. There you go. Great kickoff match.
Yeah. Okay, Duke, what are your thoughts on this match?
Oh, okay. I guess now that I'm in. Personally, I think what's going on with the Cruiserweights now, there seems to be sort of a lack of connection with most of them. I'm a little disappointed, actually, that Jack Gallagher doesn't have this spot. They burned that at Fastlane. I think that his character work has earned it. But I can totally understand that Austin Aries is the bigger name. That said, fuck Austin Aries. Seriously, this guy is one of the biggest dicks I have not forgiven him, and I don't think I should forgive him for that bullshit move he pulled on Christie. Let's not forget, this guy is that much of a douchebag.
That's true.
And on top of that, you're talking about, we're supposed to like this guy. We're supposed to be in for his big, immense, great package. God, that's got to be intentional. And it's just reminding me of what a complete fucking asshole this guy is. And it would not disappoint me if he had to go piss off back to TNA and live in that hellhole for the rest of his career.
Oh, come on. No one deserves TNA wished on them, Duke. No one deserves that. I'll agree he effed up with Christy Hemme. What he did there was god-awful and deplorable. I will agree with that. No one should ever do that. No self-respecting man, no self-respecting woman should ever shove their junk in another person's face without their consent.
And you know what the best part is? People defended him. Jesus H. Christ, people defended what he did because apparently Christie's just a little diva search Barbie doll. No, fuck you. Fuck you if you defended Austin Aries. Fuck you forever if you think that's reasonable. I don't want to hear it, okay? I don't want to hear it. This is bullshit. What he did, he deserves me. The fact that he only got fined and had to go to sensitivity training is
bullshit.
It's bullshit. The guy should have been
bullshit.
suspended. You know what? Hey, listen, guys who are defending him, go stick your junk in a random person, see how fast you wind up in jail.
Oh, fuck. I hope they do. We get rid of a lot of scumbags that way, Duke.
Yeah, we get rid of a lot of scumbags.
Seriously. Honestly, people, any self-respecting people out there, I'm with Duke on this, don't defend Austin. If you have defended Austin, please understand why you were wrong and try and, recant. Yes, Christy Hemme screwed up at her announcing job. No one deserves to have junk unwillingly shoved in their face. And it's sexual harassment, and it's something that can get you fired and locked up in jail, and for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for all that I like Austin Aries, I will say that I never defended him and for
Good.
I will say that, but I do enjoy his character.
Yeah.
But I think he's a natural heel, and he should be.
Yes.
It's kind of weird having like a bad guy versus a bad guy. And I know he's technically supposed to be in the like we're supposed to cheer him for this,
Yeah.
but I mean he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Let's be
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. I agree. You can still like Austin Aries even if he did that. No one's saying you can't, enjoy his performance if you really want to. You can. That's something I think a lot of people fail to realize is that you can condemn a person's action but still enjoy watching them.
Mm-hmm.
Cough, cough, Benoit, cough.
Yes. Oh God, that's like that to the extreme. But yeah, so yeah, you can do that. It's okay. It's okay to say Austin screwed up there. And hopefully he's repented for that. Hopefully he's looked at that and gotten better. I think he has, considering he hasn't really had another issue since then.
Of course. Well, that's because he has a near constant fear of those tube men. Can't
Yes.
sleep. Tube men will get me. Can't sleep. Tube men will get me. Because as I joked before on the NXT shows, back when Alexa Bliss and Bayley were down in NXT, I joked that Alexa Bliss is the good cop. Bayley's the bad cop.
That would make so much sense. It really would.
So moving on from Raw, which has definitely served as a mixed bag of matches.
How many Tanya Bombs we got out of that? 2 from me, 1 from Duke?
Yes.
At least 2 for me. I had the one for the women and the one for Austin.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, and I
That's
had
the one
for
that I couldn't stop laughing from.
Yep, and I had 1 for the women and 1 for Roman Taker. So we got 4 out of Raw. That's a good number.
So anyway, we will start off with the WWE Championship match between Bray Wyatt and the pyromaniac Randy Orton. Duke, what are your thoughts on this match?
I love it. I am so in love with this story right now. Part of the reason being that, Randy Orton, I feel, is somebody that I'm very much connected to. I've seen him grow up both on and off screen here. He's basically my age. I was only born like 6 weeks before he was. And so watching him get this career renaissance, almost like going into SmackDown, going into this, revitalized him. And the way that they've been telling this long con story, it feels like it's a payoff for somebody who is a long-term watcher like me. So I love what they're doing with this. I even like the way that Bray Wyatt reacted, in the sense that, at first, when he first saw it, he freaked out. He thought he had lost his edge, but he got a week. He came back. He came up with a plan, and he tried to one-up Randy Orton in the crazy. At this point, with the way this match is going, if somebody doesn't bleed, I'm going to be disappointed. But at the same time, this has been one of the better long-term stories that they've told, not just on screen, but off. Remember, this is at the point where immediately after it happened, everybody went, hey, wait a minute, didn't we see Eric Rowan with a body like 7 months ago? This is fuel people's imagination. This is everything that you'd hope the Royal Rumble winner versus the world champ would be. The only downside is there's just not enough wattage in Bray Wyatt now for it to main event. That's okay. I love this match. I don't know which way it's going to go, but I will be watching it intently.
Coolness. Okay.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint by being positive.
Oh no, it's great. It's great. This is the flip side of it. We've got SmackDown. We're positive on a couple of matches on Raw, but like, this is how people feel about the matches so far at Mania. And Dee, what are your thoughts on the Orton Wyatt match?
Well, like I said in the pre-show, this has been the one thing that I actually really care about on SmackDown. I am a huge Bray Wyatt fan. I love, 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 love him. And I also love Randy Orton. And like Duke said, I mean, it's really beautiful to see that he seems like he's actually enjoying being Randy Orton more now. And it's really nice to see. I'm so excited to see how this pays off and what will happen, because you don't know how this match could go. I mean, there's so many different things that could so many different ways they could go. They could overbook the hell out of it. They could where they could just make it really simple and straightforward. I do know that I want Bray Wyatt to win, though, because I think that, I don't know, I think it's his time. It's his time to rule, and they should do it. They should keep it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. I really want to see this match. I'm very excited for it, and God damn it, I just want Bray Wyatt to keep winning. Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong?
No, it isn't. Sal, what are your thoughts on this match?
I do like this match a lot. Duke, D, I like you guys. I think you guys have a lot of good points here. I didn't like the turn it took this past week. Duke, I'm going to be completely honest. I liked your fantasy booking where Wyatt knew Orton was counting him, and he was long counting Orton with Luke and Rowan in the background, and he was just using Orton to get the WWE Championship. I liked that better because it made him a magnificent bastard, and I really like those characters.
Okay, Vince. We'll put my email on the screen at some point. If you ever want to see it, you know where to find me.
Seriously, I really like that booking idea because I love Magnificent Bastard characters. That would have made Wyatt the Magnificent Bastard to end all Magnificent Bastards. It really kind of felt like whenever they want to make Wyatt feel more like a threat, they always go back to stock, always kind of out of his mind, creepy, insane thing. And it's just like, we've seen that so many times. I just wanted to see him be a Magnificent Bastard because we don't see that a lot in wrestling.
I think we already saw that character, when Orton joined the Wyatt family. That character was there.
Yes, it was.
This is the point in the story where the anime villain loses the magical dark artifact that he's been using against the heroes. That's how I feel about how this story is turned.
That is true. It's a good match. It's been very excellently built. There was that little nod at the beginning with Orton telling the story of the hunter and the snake, which when you go back and watch it and then realize it's like, holy shit, they planned this from the beginning. That's great, and I love it. I really do love this story overall. It's just this past week I wasn't too high on, but overall looking forward, I am enjoying the hell out of this. Only thing I would have also changed too was I would have put Luke in the match. Like, if you're not going to make Wyatt the Magnificent Bastard, put Luke in the match.
Well, I think we're all anticipating that Luke's going to find a way to be in the match.
He needs to be in that match. He made that.
Well, maybe not as a participant, but I guarantee you that at some point he's going to show up, and it will be the moment of truth.
Yes, it will. It's been a great story though, and I've really enjoyed it. They've done a great job with this. They've completely rehabbed Wyatt. How crazy is that?
It's not crazy. It's SmackDown.
Yes, exactly. And that's why we love you, SmackDown. You magnificent show, you.
I am really happy about this match. I've been consistently excited for Wyatt since he got drafted to SmackDown, and even before that, when he was on Raw, I was like, I don't care if he wins or loses matches. I enjoy his character work. He's one of my mother's favorite wrestlers. She likes his acting ability, that he has such a stage presence about him. And then, of course, I love that theme. Catching flies in his mouth.
And for everybody who says that they're sort of undervaluing Bray Wyatt, I keep hearing that they don't give Bray Wyatt enough respect. Let's just put the handbrake on this right now. In his career, he has appeared at 4 WrestleMania. Excuse me, I'm doing a show here. In his career, he has appeared in 4 WrestleManias. He fought John Cena. He fought The Undertaker. He went head-to-head with The Rock. Now he's fighting Randy Orton. Yep. He's fine. They like him.
Yeah, but let's not talk about that Rock business. That was a shambles. Come on now. Like, that was a shambles last year.
Yeah. Oh God, The Rock.
Oh God, the hot air balloon. That's his nickname on here. He's an overinflated hot air balloon.
Yeah. No, he really is. I mean, he was a good performer. It's just, people like best of all time. I mean, I'd say he's top 50 with everything he's done, but I wouldn't say best of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, AJ Styles is going to have to pull a best of all time performance in this next match. So basically, the story here is this: AJ kept getting more and more frustrated about not having a singles rematch for the WWE Championship. He felt that obstacles were being put in his way by the management. So what he decided to do about that was smash Shane McMahon headfirst into a car window. Which I'm sure made Alex Greenfield very, very happy. And Shane, rising up like Frankenstein's monster, walked all the way into the stage with Jamie Noble and Fit Finlay in tow and said, just before SmackDown went off the air last week, I will face you at WrestleMania.
Yep.
He's got the Shane match this year. D, what's your thoughts on this match?
No, look, you know what? This is okay. I don't want to sound like a bad person, but bless Shane's heart, he needs to not wrestle. AJ Styles is a good wrestler. He's a great wrestler. He might be the greatest wrestler. But I mean, Shane, really? Come on. He's not a regular performer. You couldn't have given him a match you couldn't have put him in the match with Bray and Randy. You couldn't have just given him anything else. You couldn't have had like one special like crossover and he fought Samoa Joe. I mean, you couldn't have done something else. Like, oh God, I don't care. I'm so angry about that. It's just, no. You know what?
Come on, let it all out. We've all done Tanya bombs. It's your turn.
Yep.
No, you know what? I will save any bombs that I'm going to drop for like tag team or something.
Okay.
I just my honest opinion. Shame on them for this. Full stop. Shame on them for this. They could do better. They know better. They should be ashamed of themselves. Damn it.
Shame.
Okay, Sal, what are your thoughts on this match?
AJ Styles being in this match will make it. I think it'll end up being a 3-star match, 3.5. Shane will probably bump like a mother crazy. He'll just bump crazy, because that's what he does.
And get concussed again.
Oh God, please don't.
Shameful.
Yeah, but the thing I don't get about the storyline is that Daniel Bryan fired AJ Styles because he premeditatedly attacked Shane McMahon. Okay, I can understand that. I have an issue here. Baron Corbin premeditatedly attacked Dean Ambrose, sent him to the hospital as well, and he is not being fired. Randy Orton burned down houses and is getting a championship match. Baron Corbin is getting an IC championship match at WrestleMania. I am fine if you're firing AJ for this, but good Lord, you would have better fired Baron, and you would better at least suspend Randy for his bullcrap too. Show some consistency, SmackDown. That's what I watch.
They're showing some consistency here because Randy did it off-site at the Wyatt family compound, not in a wrestling ring, so there's no authority there by SmackDown governing body, wrestling governing body, whatever territory rules there is. And in the case of Baron Corbin versus Dean Ambrose, I think, has a stipulation in his contract where physical backstage attacks can happen, because he's usually the one dishing out said backstage attacks. Like to The Miz, for example.
I don't buy it, Fizzy. I appreciate you trying to explain it. I don't buy it.
Of course you don't.
I think the big thing to remember here, to paraphrase TV tropes, is remember, professional wrestling is serious business.
Yes, well, I know it is.
If it comes to the point where, think of it this way, Randy Orton did this to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt wants revenge in the ring. Baron Corbin did this to Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose wants revenge in the ring. AJ Styles did this to an authority figure. As far as Daniel Bryan knows, Shane McMahon cannot get in the ring, and he knows he himself can't get in the ring, so that's out of the equation. And now that Shane McMahon can and will, that's different. It's all that trumps just about any other discipline you can come up with is making a match with the person. That's
okay.
Crazy.
If on the next,
sounds the way it is.
Yeah, if SmackDown on this next episode, SmackDown Bryan rehires or Shane rehires AJ for this match, I will rescind my comments. I will make a run it on the Post-Mania show if possible or whatever, if Fizzy will let me, and I will say I was wrong to condemn this. I will do that. I will be completely fair. As it is right now, the firing of AJ Styles is a bit of a sore point for me. That's all I'm going to say. The match itself, I think, will be decent at best because AJ is really good and Shane can bump really well. I hope he doesn't get concussed. I hope no one gets hurt. I mean, AJ is a pretty safe worker. He's done this for a long time, so I don't think Shane will get hurt unless he decides to do something stupid because this is Shane. Hey, Kurt, keep suplexing me through that glass until it breaks McMahon. But, you know, it is what it is.
Ooh, high thing to jump off of. Whee!
Fucking hell, Shane, you madman. You don't need to kill yourself for it. Well, actually, you kind of do need to hurt yourself for our entertainment, I guess. I don't know.
Shane McMahon's last words are going to be, "Hey, y'all, watch this!"
Watch me do something crazy and stupid for your entertainment. Do you love me yet?
No, never. Ever.
Okay, Duke, what are your thoughts on this match?
I kind of want to disagree with the other two about the setup here and saying AJ deserves better. He's getting a story. He's getting character development. He's building into a bigger villain here. You suggested have him be the interpromotional match. That would just be a match for the sake of the match, and we wouldn't really remember it as well. I mean, we would, but we're talking about the casual audience. Remember, WrestleMania is where everybody gets drawn in. You need a reason to care about everyone. And right now they're giving us a reason to care that AJ Styles is a complete egomaniac who has gone across the line, and we want to see what happens next. This is better than if you had shoehorned him into the Wyatt or Orton storyline. This is better than if you just give him a crossover match. In that regard, I've come around to it. I'm okay with it. But at the same time, this is going to be a bit of a train wreck. We know this. Shane can only do train wrecks, but for everyone concerned about him getting hurt, Survivor Series was the exception, not the rule. He walked away from that match with Kurt Angle, so I think we're going to be fine. AJ's going to win, and this is all going to be about how much punishment he can inflict, so I'm okay with it.
I'm not mad with AJ having a match with Shane. I just want to throw that out there. I'm just mad with the way, the whole he's getting fired thing. But again, I will rescind that. I can see why some people wouldn't like it and some people feel like he's deserving better. I'm personally fine with it, though. So there you go. Just wanted to clear that
I just don't want to see Shane McMahon wrestle. Is that so wrong? I don't want to see that. I mean, I understand that this is like, ooh, I mean, he's getting to wrestle McMahon. That's a big deal. I understand that. That stuff, that doesn't bother me. It's just that I just don't want to see Shane McMahon wrestle.
Yep, kind of like people with the issue with the Roman Taker.
I kind of wonder if maybe Shane is replacing a still can't get clear Daniel Bryan in this match, because the story is that Daniel Bryan's the one who's been throwing the obstacles mostly.
Yeah, he has. That's the weird thing. I was just thinking about that too. Like, Shane McMahon vouched for AJ. So, and honestly, WWE, please let Daniel Bryan get cleared. I want to see Daniel Bryan versus AJ so bad.
I don't want to see Daniel Bryan wrestle either.
I really don't. I'm not really interested in seeing Daniel Bryan wrestle at this point.
I don't want him to die. I mean, I don't think that he will or anything, but just he's got a baby that's about to pop out, and he wants to be there for that child, right?
The entire state of Arizona is about to shake because Bree is going to go into her ultimate Bree mode.
And give birth to a child they've decided to name Birdie. Are you trying to get that child bullied you too?
They named it after the Street Fighter character.
Yeah. I mean, God bless you two. I love you, Bree. I love you, Daniel. Please don't name your kid that. She will get picked on.
Not just Birdie, but Birdie Joe. Honestly, do not give a woman the initials BJ. It's just bad.
Oh, God, no. What are you doing, you two?
I still think they should have named her Wheatgrass. No, wait, what was it? Starshine Wheatgrass, somebody suggested. I thought that was great. They should just go with that. That's a better name, honestly.
That is a better name. It doesn't have those two initials that kids, being the sociopaths that they are, will give.
So, speaking of the Bellas, actually our next match involves one of the Bellas, Nikki, and her boyfriend, John Cena, versus The Miz and his muscle, Maryse.
Before we go any further, let's just establish that John Cena has now officially been demoted to Nikki Bella's boyfriend.
Yes, he has.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he should stay.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, this feud is actually just between Nikki and Maryse. John and Miz are just going along for the ride. These two literally go against one another.
I mean, it's a total divas feud right now. The two women are going against each other, and any man who appears at all is just like, okay, yeah, what crazy am I in this week? You want me to what now? Sure, whatever. Pay me. I'm good.
Yep. And it is one of the most entertaining things on SmackDown right now, and that is amazing. Mm-hmm. Although anything with Miz in it will automatically be my number one. So.
Yes, Sal is one of the biggest Miz fans on here.
I will mark for Miz. I will defend Miz and Maryse. Those two are the faces in this feud, and I will not hear otherwise. Nikki costing Maryse a spot on Total Divas at the beginning. How dare you steal money from her, Nikki? How dare you? Your fake relationship with John for the cameras. You'll never have a ring like Maryse has. You'll never have one.
So, Dee, what are your thoughts on this match?
I kind of hope that Miz and Maryse win, if only because, you know, I love Nikki. Don't really care one way or the other about John Cena. I mean, I don't hate him, but I don't love him. I don't boo him because I've sat next to children who cried that people were booing him. So I can't hate on him for that. And I feel bad. I don't even like kids. I mostly don't like kids. And like, I don't know, these kids made me feel bad for crying that people were booing John Cena. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I can't boo him. I guess I don't know. I think that the build for this, although it has been brief, it's good. It's I got a compelling storyline that I think is mostly due to Miz and the ladies.
Yep.
John's just kind of there. I mean, you know, like a big toe. He's just kind of part of the foot.
Well, he technically has been throwing lightning bolts at the Miz because he has literally become an Olympic god.
Yeah, well, John can throw all the lightning bolts he wants. Miz has got his rubber suit on. You can't touch the Miz. He has ethered John so many times. If John is an Olympic god from on high, Miz is the god from on higher. Miz is coming down from on high in a chariot of souls with lightning, with Maryse backing him up with all of the angels in heaven. They are coming down and slaying everyone, and it is amazing, and I hope they win.
So basically, Miz is Kratos from God of War, is what you're saying.
Yes.
That's pretty righteous.
The God killer.
Any other thoughts, Dee?
Let's be fair here first off. Cena and Miz have been throwing around more ether than a serial killer.
Oh, yes, they have, and it has been glorious. This has been one of my favorite feuds, and every time I see it on SmackDown, whenever I'm in the daily, I will mark out so hard. It has just been so enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on the match, Dee, before we switch to Duke?
No, I literally have nothing else to add because they are. I mean, I think we all know we want Miz and Maryse to win because
their love is real and true.
I don't know if I would say that, but no, their love is real and true. But I think that it would be better if Cena and Nikki kind of like left in defeat. That would make me happy.
I have honestly thought about this. Sorry to cut you off, Duke, or get in before.
No, go ahead. Finish. I'm good.
Yeah. But I honestly kind of want Miz and Maryse to win, but then John still proposes to Nikki anyway, and she accepts, and then Miz and Maryse are just left there exasperated, like, they lost! How dare they still have their happy moment?
That's a good idea. That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on this match, Duke?
I just want them to talk for 20 minutes. That's almost better than the match would be. I think my thoughts are that Maryse should start writing up her last will and testament because we've seen the fire that Nikki has been on and how she has been really a harder hitter since she came back. I think the best part about this is going to be how is the crowd going to react? Because when you deal with WrestleMania crowds, you deal not just with an influx of casuals from before, but with a lot of people who, plan their entire year around going to WrestleMania. And those types of people are probably not going to have the patience for a marriage proposal for a made-for-TV romance. I almost wish, in fact, that,
Oh, I thought that was me. I thought I died, but no, I think.
Oh dear.
No, we've lost
There he is.
Dukes.
There he is. No, he's there.
Oh, thank God.
Yep, still here. I just muted myself ahead of time because because something like that, I actually want to hear how that would get over.
Okay.
Do we actually expect there to be any sort of I mean, that's just all like fans being like, "Lol, wouldn't it be great if John proposed to Nikki finally?"
I kind of get the feeling it would happen based on the story they've been telling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it would be like a shoot proposal as much as it would be like like when Edge proposed to Vicky type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Yeah.
But
and along those lines, by the way, if it is just a made-for-TV romance, we all know that the wedding episode of SmackDown has the chance to be the greatest wedding episode in the history of wrestling.
Yes,
God, I hope Tane tombstones the priest. It's not an official wrestling wedding. Somebody doesn't tombstone the priest.
If Miz doesn't come in there and just breaks it up, hell, I just love Miz to come in there and be like, can someone give any reason why these two should not be wed or forever hold thy peace? Miz just comes in here and says something like, "Oh yeah, she is doing this or he was doing that. I will not stand for this. This is not for true love. This is a fake priest," or something like that. That would be amazing.
If I can do a diversion here, by the way, what do you think is the benchmark right now for wrestling weddings? What's your favorite so far? It's going to be kind of hard to top the Test Stephanie one, in my opinion, but if they go all out with this, it has a chance.
The Macho Man Elizabeth one was good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this will probably be in the top 3. It will be at the level of the Allie Braxton wedding. Yes. That fantastic wedding. The best that Mike Bennett has ever been as a character.
One of the few things TNA did right.
Yes. And the great thing about it is that TNA often does angles incredibly long. This was the perfect point for Mike and Maria to exit the story by them quitting TNA. This was perfect.
I love how it took some people quitting TNA to make a storyline perfect.
But that's how TNA rolls.
Yes,
that's how the Donner Party rolls.
That is how they roll.
And the best part out of this, I think, for me, is that Laurel Van Ness is now adopting the Miss Havisham from Great Expectations gimmick. Just keep wearing the wedding dress. It's beautiful.
Yep. My God, TNA is so backwards.
I am so looking forward to this mixed tag match. This is the best match that they could have put John Cena in as far as wrestling is concerned. We're also not sure if this is going to be Nikki's last full-time match because there's been rumors that she's going part-time or retiring after this match. But this is a great match to end up on, being with your boyfriend, beating up Maryse, Bella hammering the Miz.
Yeah, dude, I would love to see the Bella hammer on the Miz. That would be beautiful.
I would love to see it, and then Maryse is just full of rage, "What did you just do to my man?" And she goes full Lepsy Hulk smash on Nikki.
By the way, let's just for perspective here. I want somebody, if there's ever a time machine, to go back to April 4th, 2011 and say, "Hey, remember that main event of WrestleMania? In 6 years, you're going to be looking forward to them adding 2 women to it."
Yes. Oh my God, yes, that will be amazing. I have so fallen in love with Miz this past year and a half. It's just been so good. His 2016 was such a breakout, and I've fallen in love with the guy. Him and Maryse have been amazing, and I've heard some people say, well, Miz has had such a good 2016. He deserves better than this at Mania and a nothing mixed tag match. And it's 1, he's going up against John Cena, face of the company. 2, he's going up against Nikki Bella in what, as Fizzy said, what could possibly be her final match as a full-time wrestler. They show how much they think of him and Maryse if they're putting them against those two in this match.
Mm-hmm.
They're not burying the guy. They like him.
Also, if you said to somebody in 2011 that Nikki Bella would become the queen of strong style and save the forearm smash as a legitimate finisher from
Yes.
Wade Barrett,
Yes.
they'd
Also-
think
Oh yeah,
you'd
I
be
can just
crazy.
imagine everyone there like, wait, Nikki does something better than Wade Barrett?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hell, if you went back into 2011 and told me that in like 6 years, The Miz would be the greatest Intercontinental Champion ever, with the exception of maybe Randy Savage, do you know how crazy I would tell people they were?
Really crazy.
Yeah. The Miz has been, honestly, it's like ever since Dean got the belt hasn't been as good because The Miz made it so awesome.
Dude, the belt is never good when Dean has it. I'm sorry.
The belt
That's
is
just the truth. It's
honestly
never good when Dean has it.
also, again, if you went back to 2011, well, more like 2014, 2015, and told me, oh yeah, guess what? The Miz in 2017 will make Dolph Ziggler a viable face. He will make him one of the most over faces and one of the best feuds ever for the IC title. I would call all of them crazy, and that is what happened.
Oh wow!
It
So
just shows never give up on someone. You never know when the light's going to come on.
Yep.
So anyway, speaking of the Dean Baron Intercontinental title feud that most likely will happen at Mania, if not, okay, then they'll happen at a SmackDown. Duke, what are your thoughts on this Dean Baron feud?
Well, full disclosure, Dean Ambrose is my man first, so I'm a little biased now. Secondly, this is probably going to be really exciting if they take if they take the rules off, because Baron Corbin is in character somebody who doesn't care. Dean Ambrose is in character somebody who doesn't care. This could be like that match Ambrose had with Luke Harper, where they disappear for 2 hours and come back to finish the match later, and we just assume something crazy happened off screen. Anything is possible. That the ceiling is off on this one. If they keep it to a weapons match, this could be the best apology they give Dean for what happened with Brock Lesnar the year before.
Okay, coolness. D, what are your thoughts on this match?
I'm kind of the opposite of Duke. You know what? I just don't care for Dean Ambrose. I really don't. I find that anytime he holds a belt, that belt instantly becomes like a who cares. And he's kind of a sideshow. Well, he is kind of a sidekick guy, which is a shame because I'm sure he deserves better. But I don't care for his promos. I don't care for his in ring, and so I'm hoping that Baron Corbin beats the ever loving tar out of him. And I love Baron Corbin, so
Hero.
We'll just be opposite seas on that one, Duke. Because I want Baron Corbin to just smash him to Dean paste in the middle of anything.
Having opposite opinions, that's what makes shows like this works. Well, that and people going on, foul mouth unrestricted tirades.
Yep. I've had fun with those. I can see why Tanya does them so much. They're a lot of fun to do.
So what are your thoughts on this match, Sal?
Again, I'm going to be the guy who's right in the middle, at least on Dean. I think he's fine. I don't hate him as much as D. I don't love him as much as Duke. I think he's just a pretty good guy, pretty good promo, pretty good at everything. He's just pretty good across the board. I know AA loves him. I know Duke loves him. That's cool. He's pretty good for me. I don't think he's been as good as an IC champ as Miz has, but although that's not being fair to him because very few things are as good and as worthy. I mean, seriously, I, as a mortal sinner, do not have as much right to enjoy how good Miz has been. But besides the point, I think this will be a really fun match. And like Duke said, if they make it a weapons match, which I think they will, that'll be a one hell of a weapons match.
Mm-hmm.
Just go out there, it'll probably be a bit of a garbage ECW type thing at points, but not as extreme, but who cares? It'll be a fun weapons match. Corbin will likely win the IC belt because they've done a good build with him. They've rehabilitated him. They've done good with him, and I think this will be a fun match. I'm looking forward to this match, just like I'm looking forward to the other two SmackDown matches we've all talked about. So, I'm probably going to enjoy this. So,
Coolness. Okay, so does anyone want to talk about the pre-show SmackDown tag match?
it will be worthless, and I hate saying that because I love American Alpha. I
don't like American Alpha.
Oh, I love them. They
Oh,
need to
good.
get us. They need to get a story for the SmackDown Tag Division soon. They need to do something with them for more than a week at a time, or for more than like
Well-
1 week every month, or every month and a half. That's all I'm gonna say on it because that's really all they've given me to say on it. They don't build the tag division on SmackDown. It's one of their main flaws, other than Dolph Ziggler and David Otunga on commentary.
There we go. Well, we were talking about this before the show went on the air. Again, kind of like with Gallagher, they they ran out of stories too soon. They had something going. I'm sure their goal always was to make American Alpha the heads of the division. They held it off because Heath Slater and Rhino caught fire, which is what you do.
Yep.
And now they just don't know what to do next. They have this sort of now what feeling about them. I personally wouldn't mind if, no disrespect to the Usos, but put Slater and Rhino in this match and have it be sort of like Heath Slater saying, no, I'm tired of what you said about me, Rhino. I'm going to go prove that I am a valuable part of this team by helping us win the titles at WrestleMania against the team everyone assumes is invincible.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would actually make it somewhat interesting, too. You might as well do it. I mean, I'm sure someone would moan that we're getting 2-3 ways for tag belts on the show, but you know what? Who cares? If it makes it better, it makes it better.
Okay.
Plus,
I mean, SmackDown is just lucky that they would even get their tag if they in fact get their tag championship on the show at all, which they may not. And I mean, rumors say that this is going to be like the SmackDown storyline for the tag teams, like going forward. But I don't care. That's stupid. You can't, like, do you even know how many tag teams that there are on SmackDown? They've got Breezango. They've got, when Zack Ryder's back, they'll have the Hype Bros. They have the Vaudevillains. They have the Ascension. They have the Usos. They have American Alpha. They have Heath Slater and Rhino. That is a lot of talent that is getting absolutely zero time. I mean,
that's like 14 guys in catering.
It's insulting. I mean, to have all this talent
and the
and
strange
to not
part
use
is,
it.
this is the show that Road Dogg writes. You'd think he'd give love to the tag division.
Yeah, you'd think he would. I mean, that's the thing. That's like sort of the paradoxical thing about SmackDown. It's like everything they do well. It's just they run out of time for the tag teams. But if they go to 3 hours, they have too much time. You know?
That's the way it's been for Raw for a long time. 3 hours is just too long.
3 hours is just too long, but it's now seeming like 2 hours is just too short for the SmackDown roster.
Well, I think with the I mean, like I said, on the Raw teams, at least they all get to be on TV, even, I mean, in weird ways, but they all get to be on because they have that extra time. And the SmackDown teams, bless them, there's so many more of them, and so they get no time at all. That is a complete disservice to all of these people. And honestly, does anyone even care about any of them? Like, I heard somebody say that the Usos fought American Alpha at like a house show, and the Usos were the ones cheered, and that nobody cared about American Alpha. That's a bad sign. That means that you have done a really bad job. That's not even like the little negligent. No, you have messed up. This is bad. Like, everyone was super excited. Oh, American Alpha, they're going to be on the main roster. Good for them. Stupid. It's stupid. Look at what's happened with the whole division. Is just gone to absolute garbage. And
well, who is American Alpha though? But they've been on the show now for 6. They've been on the show for 6 months. We don't have any idea what they are except really good wrestlers. That's not going to connect with anybody.
Yeah, no.
They are.
I mean,
they're
Raw superstars on SmackDown.
That's who they are.
They're like, it's Raw booking on SmackDown for the tag division.
Except for that, Raw's doing a better job.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Well, I meant like bad Raw booking, as in like a bunch of people with no characters who are on SmackDown.
That's fair.
It just pains me because I loved them in NXT. I loved American Alpha in NXT, going back to what you said about how they let all the Raw tag teams be on there. Even if you don't have all the SmackDown tag teams on there, there's weeks where you don't get any SmackDown tag teams. Like, you go like 2-3 weeks with no tag teams. Or maybe one tag match that goes for like all of 4 or 5 minutes, like once every 3 weeks. You wonder why people don't care? There's no time allotted to them. I mean, me and Eric, Roman's younger brother, had joked about just scrapping the tag division and making a mixed tag division. You might as well do that because they're getting more time and it's been fun.
Oh, they don't even have enough women for that.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I think that they're going to turn the corner on the SAG division right after WrestleMania. I think that that's going to be the thing that's going to happen. As far as this is concerned, I think this will be a fun match, but I think that the big thing will be that IA is probably going to get a heel turn at some point or unless of course Roman goes to SmackDown, in which case that they're going to put the Usos in the stable, which means they're going to need a second heel team. And I would want the Revival on SmackDown to feud with AA.
They need
No.
They need to do that.
Revival needs to go to Raw.
No, they need to go to SmackDown to give that tag division the shot in the arm it needs.
You know what? If they bring Roman over to SmackDown, then the Revival can go over to SmackDown because I'll be interested in that. But at that point, maybe if they give them the time. But right now, I mean, with the way that the tag teams are being used, Revival, I need them on Raw. Then that's just how it is.
Well, not even that. I think what we need more than just new teams or a heel turn or something is we need to. It's about character work. You can get away with being a great wrestler and nothing more in front of the wholesale crowd, but we're seeing here with American Alpha, you can't do that on the biggest stage.
Yep.
Nope.
And even then at NXT, they did have them cut some goofy promos. Like they had this kind of like goofy buddy thing about them. They had some character down at NXT. They haven't had really much of any of that on SmackDown. So
other than the really ugly like jumpers that they wear.
Oh, I love those things.
Sure you do.
Yeah, you're Steiner Brothers. That's where they're taking it from.
I know, but I didn't like them
either.
They
are ugly. They are ugly. I'll give them that. But they're ugly in a corny, oh my god, that's so adorable kind of way.
But they look like the background to a 1990s yearbook photo.
That's the point, and that's why I love it.
No. Thumbs down from me. That's what you'll get. Like, I don't like it. No.
Oh, come on.
No, you can take your Dayglow and put it on Bailey. Take your Dayglow and put it on anybody else, but Dayglow otherwise does not belong anywhere on my screen because I have eyes.
All right, people with 2K17, please edit Bailey's uniform to make it look like American Alpha and post screenshots.
Please.
I would be fine with that. I would be fine with that.
Yes.
Bailey can get away with that. She's got her childlike character when it's not.
Oh god! Remember how they had her show up on Raw with a backpack?
Oh yeah.
Buy my bears. Buy my bears. She basically became a deranged QVC saleswoman that time.
Remember? Hey, Fizzy, did you see the Bailey commercial for Snickers?
Yes. Go with that character. Go with that character, please.
Was amazing. Go with it. That was amazing. Oh Lord.
Because she was a heel on the Indies. People forget this. She was a heel on the California Indies.
Oh Lord, it's so hard to imagine her as a heel now, though.
Oh, she can do it.
Oh, I'm sure she can. I am sure she can. It's just really weird.
Hugs come in many forms.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
Speaking of characters,
how strange is it, by the way, that we want everybody to be evil?
Well, I think
I don't want everybody to be evil.
Yeah, I want Miz to get cheered. Miz is the good guy in all of his stories.
Are you crazy?
Put Dolph Ziggler on a board automatically makes you a hero.
Yes, of course it does. It's Dolph Ziggler. Come at me, teammate. Come at me.
I don't like Dolph Ziggler at all. I never have. He's got the worst hair imaginable.
Honestly, I think the only person who does like him is teammate Burner. So.
Who? Oh, yeah.
Come at me, teammate. Your boy's useless and he should go. Come at me.
That's so mean.
Speaking of characters that thrived in NXT despite not being top-tier wrestlers, our last segment before we get to our final thoughts is Alexa Bliss, the Pixie Hulk, versus the World. D, what are your thoughts on this match?
I hope that Alexa retains. I don't. I feel like the women's division on SmackDown doesn't appeal to me as much because the wrestling isn't as there for me personally as it is on Raw. Even though I appreciate the usage of everybody more. I like that they involve everyone more, and so it's nice that they're gonna have this. But yeah, I'm gonna be team Alexa for this, definitely. Oh, and also, wait, before we go on to anybody else, are we not talking about the Battle Royal before we?
I was thinking, sure, go with it. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I don't have any. No, I'm just kidding. I want Braun Strowman to beat the crap out of everybody. I want there to be like a ex-Wyatt family showdown in the middle of it. I want I don't know. I want it to actually be something that's short and great.
I mean,
I want it to be short.
I would prefer if like Braun won and he used that trophy as a club.
Am I the only one who wants them to take Braun and Big Show out of that and just have them do their own match?
They could.
That's what they should do. I mean, I know WWE is still trying to get Princess Shaq, as Show has been calling him. By the way, Show, you deserve better than what Shaq has been giving you. You really do. You worked your ass off for that match. Shaq, if by some miracle of miracles that you hear this, fuck you. Just fuck you. You don't do people like that. You really think Show wasn't going to be professional with you? Show is a professional.
Oh, yeah, he is.
For the love of God, Shaq.
I mean, Jesus, the guy jobbed to Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, he jobbed to Floyd Mayweather. You think he's going to have issues maybe taking the loss from you, Shaq? No, he isn't. He is better than that. Good
I'm sure that Shaq just doesn't want to embarrass himself because he's like, not terribly fit, and maybe he's
taking this seriously. WrestleMania. I mean, hell, Floyd Mayweather took his shit seriously. Come on, Shaq. This isn't just a. I'm sure you look at it as just a paycheck and something for some publicity. And if you are, fine. But at least take it somewhat seriously. Fucking hell, Dennis Rodman took it somewhat seriously back when he was in WCW, and that was garbage.
No, Dennis Rodman did not take anything seriously. Karl Malone saved that match.
Okay, fine. Karl Malone took it seriously. Karl Malone took it seriously. We'll give Karl Malone his credit. Okay, Karl Malone did it right. You can do it too, Shaq. Stop being like this.
Sure, but like that's the celebrity match. So what are your thoughts on either the Battle Royale or Alexa Bliss versus the World?
Alexa Bliss versus the World. For every yin and every yang, however, whichever is which, I'm not sure anymore. For every evil thing that is Raw's women division, there must be a good thing that is SmackDown women's division. A division full of characters that I like. I still like Becky, although her character is starting to get a little who are you. Naomi, before she sadly got hurt, was great. Feeling the glow. Alexa Bliss is some of the best damn character work on the entire roster. Like, other than Miz and Maryse, she's probably one of the best characters SmackDown has. Mickie James is being a good character. Natalia's actually been pretty decent. Carmella has had some good stuff with James. I'm actually looking forward to this match. It'll be a cluster, but I'm thinking it'll be a fun cluster full of good character work. As far as the Battle Royal goes, if Braun and Show must be in there, I want them to eliminate everyone in 10 seconds and have the rest of the match to themselves, and I want Braun to win.
Yep. So, Duke, what are your thoughts on these two matches? Oh, hang on.
First off, for the women's match, I've said before I kind of want this to be the ladder match of WrestleMania for two reasons, both of which are completely perverse. The first one is that Alexa Bliss, one of her character points is that she's 5'1", and if they make it a ladder match, she's just going to lose it. I don't mean lose the title. I mean she's going to lose her composure.
That will be so great.
Yeah. And the other one is, this just popped into my head listening to you talk about all the different characters. I just got this vision, if it is a ladder match, of James Ellsworth climbing the ladder, taking the belt, and pretending to be women's champion just to annoy Carmella. I think that might be the greatest use of James Ellsworth I can think of right now.
Oh my God. So do what they did with TNA way back when with Cody Deaner and ODB?
Exactly.
Oh my God. Oof. I'm wondering how the media would take that. Like, I'm all for that. I really am. It's just WWE is always worried about the media perception and stuff. I'm wondering if they do it.
Nah.
No, probably not, but it would be funny.
It would be funny and hilarious, and I wouldn't mind that. But yeah.
As for the Andre Battle Royal, right now I'm setting the over/under on Simon Gotch's elimination at 6 seconds. Which side do you take?
I got him at 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
Nah. He's
No,
out of
not
there.
gonna last that long. That's crazy. No.
He's out of
He
there.
hasn't even had 2 minutes of ring time before losing since what? August?
Has he? Where has he
Since
been?
Sin Cara beat his ass.
Has Simon Gotch even ever appeared on SmackDown in the past? What?
Yes.
Like 3 months?
Yes, he appeared at the pay-per-view with the Scramble Tag Team match.
Oh yeah, he did.
Mhm.
That's right, he did. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I forgot about that because again, I don't care about SmackDown's tag division, which is sad.
Nobody cares about SmackDown Tag Division, including SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like, that is the problem. Jesus.
As for the main attractions of the Battle Royal, this has always been. Big Show's already won one, so we can rule him out.
Yep.
Strowman seems a little too obvious at this point. I really think that this might be, and this is going to sound crazy, but this might be the time where you give Big E the win and you start establishing him as being one step ahead of the rest of the New Day. That might be a story you can move going forward with this match.
They could do that. They are the host of WrestleMania, so they can put themselves in this situation.
Yeah, speaking of being the host, by the way, there better be ice cream at WrestleMania, the way they've been building this up.
Oh, where are my WWE ice cream bars? I know they're gonna give them to the New Day too. Just half of it just because the New Day is so popular, and half of it just to spite Punk. Because they are that petty.
Oh yeah, we know they're that petty.
The WWE was built on being petty.
Well, of course they were. You don't conquer the territories without being petty.
And also having some lucky breaks of having some of the territory owners go completely insane.
Vern Gagne refusing to push Hulk Hogan.
Hogan.
Well, yeah. Hulk Hogan.
Just
No, I know.
I mean, I personally wouldn't have pushed him. Although I am saying that in hindsight, knowing what an awful person he was.
But he was the biggest draw in the 80s, so
Yes, I know.
You have to go with the hot hand.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically helped bring it to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's iconic, you know.
He is.
we don't have to be hemming and hawing or melancholy about this. Hulk Hogan changed wrestling. That's just a statement of fact.
He did, and I'm not sure. I mean, I don't want to say it was a bad change necessarily because I don't know. I honestly am starting to wonder though, what would wrestling have been like if he had been in the AWA, and Vern had managed to get rid of all of his appeal. Like he jobbed him out one too many times, and people stopped caring about him. What would have happened to wrestling then?
I don't want to think about that. How dare you ask us such a question?
I think that the WWF and that the NWA still would have been in the position they are just because they had USA Network and TBS behind them that were going national with the way that cable TV was invented around that time. But I can't imagine who the big star would have been. Do you run with Roddy Piper? Do you run with JYD was broken down at the time. Do you bring Harry Von Erich in early?
I think they would have gone with Macho, to be honest. He was always right behind Hogan.
Yeah, that would probably work too, yeah.
Yeah, and he was... I honestly wonder what would have happened to WWE then because Hogan was over and charismatic and all that, but he couldn't really wrestle and ring very well. Macho could do both. So I'm wondering, would WWE become more would they go more in ring skill too? Or would it just be pretty much what it was, sans Hogan?
But that's interesting. I think it'd be interesting to see how Hogan himself would have adjusted because I've seen some of his matches with Great Muta and Vader in Japan. The only reason he couldn't wrestle in the U.S. is because he didn't have to.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So, coolness. Alternate booking aside, what are our final thoughts on this WrestleMania before it happens? Sal, we'll go first with you.
I am enjoying all of the SmackDown half, Sans Tag Team, and the Raw Cruiserweight. Goldberg, Brock, I don't really care for. Roman, Taker, I'm sure it'll be a fun match, but the character work leaves a lot to be desired for me. The Raw's Women match will be a fun match, and the character work can really go die in a fire. And the tag match will be fine. So, I am overall, though, I'm not even sure if I'm going to watch it live because it's going to be 7 hours long. Good Lord. That's just too long to sit watching the same thing.
That's why you just turn it on and you just leave it on in the background. If you need to get up and go do some stuff, need to barbecue something, you know, you leave it, you turn it on and you leave it on, and that's it.
Yep. I honestly might just keep the opening day of baseball on in the background, to be completely honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sal would rather watch baseball than WrestleMania.
Yes. Than parts of WrestleMania, yes.
Okay.
If that isn't an indictment of how mad I am on behalf of this WrestleMania, I don't know what it is.
Okay, Duke, what are your final thoughts on WrestleMania before it happens?
I think this WrestleMania, especially compared to the last one, shows.
Duke, you there?
One. But this year, the way that the dominoes are about to fall, the bad guys are going to win again, but it's going to be okay because it's where the story's going. So I think that in the end, this is a triumph of storytelling, it's a triumph of getting your act together. And there's a lot of different ways I want to see the endings to these, and that's what WrestleMania has been for a long time, the end of the story. And it feels like a throwback. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Okay, Dee, what's your thoughts on the WrestleMania?
I'm way more excited about WrestleMania this year than last year. That's for absolute sure. I mean, God, there was some real dumpster fire stuff going on last year. And I felt like it was all about just filling the stadium as opposed to making the matches matter, making the stories matter. And this year I feel like it's more about showcasing, this is what we really have to offer. We have all of these great people. We brought back some nostalgia stuff, and I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling positive, even though there are some things that I don't care for at all. I just really hope there's not like a 20-minute long, bore fest with Triple H. That's pretty much it right now. Otherwise, thumbs up.
I kind of wonder how long they're going to give The Rock. Because at this point, part of the problem is that he's sort of become this tumor within WrestleMania that, is expanding the time without really going anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope that he's not even there.
Well, he's going to be there. It's in Orlando, which is right by his hometown. So
yeah, but still, we can still cross our fingers and hope not.
Yeah. Oh, sure, we can hope, but we'll only have ourselves to blame when it doesn't happen.
Or
Stop the presses, everyone. We're hoping The Rock doesn't show up at a wrestling event.
Yes.
Well, I'm honestly hoping if he does show up that Roman is going to go grab a sewing pin and just go pop, and Rock goes flying all over the arena like a hot air balloon and crash.
Honestly, Roman should go up to his cousin and just be like, "This is my yard now. Get out."
Oh yeah, if they had Roman spear The Rock after his Undertaker match, that would be the cement that might actually get people to.
Yeah, people would get behind him finally, I honestly think. WWE, you can have this idea free of charge. I just want one thing. Just give me a little bit of credit. Just like, you can put it in the tiniest print you find down the corner. Idea credited to Salvatore Joseph Guzmano IV.
That's a really long credit line, bro.
It's the fourth that really puts it over the top.
Oh, yes, of course. You can thank my dad, my grandfather, and I think my great-great-grandfather for the first three of them. So, there you go.
Yeah, I think at this point what's really needed is just, that's the way it's not about turning Roman heel, it's about giving him a character. It's what made John Cena the problem for so long. And if they actually have him attack The Rock, establish himself as being tired of all of this old-timey bullcrap, there, you've got something.
Yeah, hell, have the Usos join in on the attack and have them be like, "You guys were the previous faces of our family. We're constantly being overshadowed by you. It's our time now."
Yeah. You're not even in the family. Peter Maivia is not your brother.
Yeah. You mooched off of our family name for so long. It's our time now.
So I've managed to build some excitement for the celebrity show. Like I've said before, I never really have had very high opinion of WrestleMania. I've always viewed it as the celebrity show. I've always been more excited for the B show pay-per-views than the big four, except for Survivor Series and the Rumble, because I like those concepts in those events. I have low expectations for Mania. And I think that this is going to be a very interesting show. It's going to be as interesting as 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27. But I'll be able to watch WrestleMania this year because I have the network. And, you know, I've got it connected up to my downstairs TV. I'll probably have my avatar Roku running. And, we'll be watching WrestleMania for the first time the day after I go to a live wrestling show in my hometown. So, like, unlike most people, I don't have to actually go very far to see wrestling this year. I can just walk a couple blocks from my house to the local arena where they're having a Southern Tier Wrestling's Gold Rush show.
Hey, you know, same here. That's what I love. I only have to go a mile, a couple weeks after WrestleMania, Nova Pro Wrestling Commonwealth Cup. It's so much fun to have wrestling at your doorstep, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, certainly is. And I'll be able to go to the show this year because, like, last year, I wasn't able to go to any independent wrestling shows because had the worst summer storm in, like, 20 years here in the area. And then to follow it up in, like, late 2016, there was a massive blizzard at the other wrestling show I was going to.
Yep. Poor Fizzy.
Yeah. So this year, it actually broke my streak of going to wrestling shows. I'd always been able to go to one wrestling show a year, and 2016 broke that streak.
Combo breaker.
As if 2016 couldn't be any weirder.
Yeah.
Well, at least you guys have some indies right on your doorstep. Michigan has none.
Mm-hmm.
Not a huge indie scene around me, which is sad, and I want one.
That's actually
kind of surprising because Detroit was such a big time area. The Sheik ran such a great territory.
Yeah, I know. What happened, Detroit? What happened?
So thank you all for joining us for this extra long edition of Cageside Speaks. We had so much to cover here today for the pre-WrestleMania show. We hope to see you again. We've got 2 more shows for Speaks lined up. The post-Mania show, which will be happening on either April 8th or 9th, and Takeover Orlando, which will also be happening on April 8th or 9th, depending on scheduling and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if we'll be having a live after WrestleMania show, but that might be in the cards. I know that Wednesday night.
Maybe in addition to, or instead, this just popped in my head. With WrestleMania being such a community event, maybe we could throw something up here. For people who are tired of listening to Byron Saxton and David Otunga, they could listen to us instead.
Oh my God! Yes, if we could all do a live broadcast of WrestleMania, that'd be great.
Oh my!
Okay, who's down for joining me for ultimate commentary for WrestleMania this year?
But you would be stuck for 7 hours.
Fuck it! If I can do it drunk,
workday commitment.
If I can do it drunk, hell, I'll do it.
All right. Busy, you're the point man here. Set something up.
Woohoo!
I know. I don't know because I just want to watch WrestleMania without having to do any actual commentary until after the show. I might be booked for the live after WrestleMania for that, but anyway, Wednesday Night Shooting will be returning this week with Tanya and Andrew. They took a week off because Andrew was busy on vacation. Also, give a shout out to Chris Colgan and Curtain Jerker. They've started up a new show called Two Guys, One Sport. It airs on Saturday nights at 5 p.m. live broadcast time. And those two guys have already done 2 episodes. This week, they are also returning after a week off, and they will be talking about ROH and TNA. Also, all of the other podcasts, CSL, Not Your Demographic, Rudo Radio, and also Gabbing About Grappling, the infrequent series that Gino does. There's a lot of podcasting stuff here on the Cageside family of podcasts, and we hope you join us for all of those great shows done by all of these different people in the world of professional wrestling. And this has been Cageside Speaks, and this has been 14 Fitzpatrick. And any final words, guys?
WrestleMania this year is way better than last year, but that is damning it with faint praise. Although I will say I'm enjoying half of it.
Support your local wrestling show. It's what causes the grassroots to begin. If you can find it, go. It's probably going to be worth it, and it keeps the sport alive.
I have absolutely nothing. No, nothing. I got nothing. I just think everybody should have a good time and enjoy your wrestling and stop your bitching.
Yep.
Well,
All right.
I will say one more thing before we go. If any local indie companies want to start up shop in Detroit, please.
I feel so bad for you that you don't have any local wrestling. Like, I've got so much over here on the West Coast, and like my favorite one, All Pro Wrestling, I get to see them like frequently. We got a killer show coming up in May. I'm super excited about.
We got Evolve coming here in May, and I got a ticket to that, so that'll be fun.
That's exciting. Oh, you know what else I'm going to in May? I think I'm going to wait. Does anybody know when Payback is?
I think it's in May somewhere. I think.
Probably what it was, May 1st, I would guess, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's either the beginning of May or the end of April, beginning of May. I don't remember.
That'll be fun.
I'll be in the second row, right in the dead center of the row,
nice.
where you'll be probably seeing my hilarious little mug the entire time.
Awesome.
Make a sign so we can find you.
Yes.
Well, my idea is that I haven't decided what signs yet because I don't know what the feuds are going to be or who's going to be. But one of my signs that I'm definitely considering is Year of the Beef, because
yes.
So that's one of the signs I'm considering.
Yes.
We'll see that.
When we get to Orlando and beyond, we will see the year of the tag team division in NXT be one of the greats.
Year of the Beef.
Oh, see, I'm hoping
Authors of Pain, Heavy
and
Machinery. It's going to be a war.
the Ely twins are massive too. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Oh,
but yeah, Year of the Beef. That is 2017.
And it is a damn good year for it too.
Mm-hmm.
And as we close out on the thoughts of the NXT Tag Division, once again, there's a ton of shows coming down the pipe, guys and gals out there in the wrestling land. We hope you join us again for another edition of Cageside Speaks. Once again, this is 14 Fitzpatrick. Have a good day or night, ladies and gentlemen. Drive safe after WrestleMania. Drive safe after every wrestling show that you've been to this weekend. Wish all of your fellow wrestling fans good luck as they go on this Mecca odyssey of wrestling, because they're going to need it, because guys like Reverend Kane are going to be doing 14 shows in 6 days. So wish them luck. Wish them luck. And we'll see you next time for the next edition of Cageside Speaks on CagesideSeats.com, one of the best places for wrestling on the internet. Bye.
Bye.
Get Kane a cloning machine.